My name is Paul Dailyde. I'm a grade 1 teacher at Oaklands Elementary. I'm also a literacy mentor for one morning a week at my school. I'm also part of a literacy project in the district. And I'm here to talk a little bit about a new way to teach guided reading. It's called side-by-side guided reading. And I decided to switch from the traditional model, which, although effective, I found this new model to even be more effective. When I switched, what I discovered was it was easier for me to manage, and my children's reading just was accelerated faster and at higher levels. One of the key differences between side-by-side guided reading and the traditional model is that with side-by-side reading, the children are all reading the whole period, level text that they have selected. And there's a lot less teacher talk, which means fewer interruptions for children and more time with eyes spent on text.
They had to swim up and down the pool. They had to swim behind the waterfall.
Side-by-side guided reading is very similar to the traditional model of guided reading with some key differences. During side-by-side reading, all of the students select their own just right leveled books and are reading at their desks. This is when I will sit down next to a student and spend a few minutes listening to her read. As I listen, I check to see if she's self-monitoring, just as we do in traditional guided reading. And when a student does encounter a word and gets stuck, I wait a few seconds to give him time to figure it out. And if he can't, I prompt and then teach if necessary. Another key difference between the two models of reading instruction is the amount of teacher talk that you will see. There's much less in side-by-side reading than compared to the traditional model. Again, research in reading tells us that the more we interrupt the student that's reading with teacher talk, it slows down their development of reading skills. Because it equates to less time that student has with eyes on text. And the more students are reading, the more they are looking at letters and words, and just increasing that volume increases and accelerates their reading development. So asking too many questions, especially types that are close-ended involving lower order reasoning, do little to further their reading development. Asking simply one open-ended question that involves higher order cognitive processes such as inferencing and evaluating, that is all that's needed to check for and develop a reader's comprehension.
The key began to grow.
As well, what I discovered works is using fewer strategies, teaching children a lot of key, powerful strategies, and then instead of, when a child gets stuck on a word, instead of trying to have them use every strategy in the book, which they can then become frustrated and bogged down, just use a few key ones, and then if they still haven't been able to figure out the word, give them the beginning sound, give them the beginning consonant vowel combination, or even give them the word. The key here is not to bog them down. The biggest question I get is, how do you have all of your students stay on task? Well, they don't always stay on task. And that's when I'll do something where I might ask a student to go read to the office staff, they love that, or a student who's reading at a lower level to read to a buddy in class who is reading at a higher level. And I also say capitalize on when children are fresh. After both recesses is a great time. Lastly, it's very important to have a set of quality level books. It's key to have that volume of leveled books designed to teach children how to read. So once you have that library, I have my children have a folder. They keep anywhere from 2 to 3 books in that folder. They go to their desks and they sit down, and I circulate and watch them or listen to them read. And when a child does encounter an error or gets stuck, I always wait about 3 seconds, then prompt and teach if necessary.